We are Steve and Jill. Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt. Happy Friday, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today is Jill Friday. She's going to talk about how much land research is appropriate.
So this came up because of a phone call I had the other day with a really nice gentleman who was doing a lot of research in what I think is not the right areas and not enough research in the areas he should be thinking about and wanting to get into land investing like what we're doing. So that's what I want to cover today.
Are you going to tell about his story?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get into it,
no,
it's like,
that's it.
That's the end of the show. I talked to a guy and he was
awesome. It was
talking
great.
to the guy and he working on the wrong stuff.
I got so much out of it.
Yep.
And so anyway, that's all I want to share. No.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. You know, back in the day, it was nearly impossible to find land without a mailing address, which is almost all the properties that we deal with. So to solve this, we can now access a product that I developed, access all properties by assessor's parcel number, even if they don't have a mailing address. Like all of our products, we developed it for our own use and then released it to the public on a website when we cleaned it all up. In this case, we call it neighborscoop.com. If you want to find out more about this, go to neighborscoop.com or email us at support@landacademy.com.
Greg wrote, I have a deal which would possibly include 4 parcels and 3 different neighbors who all want to sell. This is hilarious. Apparently, it's a very tight community. Does anyone know if I'd be able to include all of them on one purchase agreement and close as one, or would it be better off with separate purchase agreements for each owner? Also, one owner was wondering if he may be able to have the other neighbors quit claim deed their properties over to him so I can directly purchase all 4 properties from him under one transaction. I'm not sure if that would be complicated or drag things out even longer, though. I wouldn't do that. I'd have 4 different things and going on.
You're breaking the chain of title. So let's take a couple steps back. This is a huge opportunity.
Good question.
This is a great opportunity to buy 4 properties. Four properties are better than one. As long as you're very confident that all of these properties are super profitable and that they can support the costs that it's going to cost to close these properties correctly.
Are you saying that because all 4 of them want to sell, that sends up a red flag?
Yes.
Thank you. Because I was just now thinking about that too. Good observation. Like what's going on in that area that they all want out?
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
But, hey, it's happened to us where it's like, wow, these 4, we got them for a great price. So again, listen to the show with this last Wednesday with Brandon, where he's, buy for $8,000, sell for 120 times 2 properties next to each other. So let's just assume that that's one of these deals. I would separately close.
Mm-hmm. I
would get title policy through 4 separate
I would
transactions.
do 4 purchase agreements. And I'm like, come on, I'm going to make them special, feel good and special and private. And I might get a better deal with this guy than I do with that guy because there's some different stuff going on. I would do that. I don't need them all getting involved. And it's just going to be a mess too.
Quick claim deeds it's hard to go back in time and fix that if they're real valuable property. You need a chain of title, and that breaks the chain.
Right.
Today's Jill Friday, and she's going to talk about how much land research is appropriate. This is the meat of the show.
So I had a really nice phone call with a gentleman last week, and he's thinking about joining Land Academy. And he just had found us and only has like a week's worth of research in. He had not touched on our show yet. He hadn't found the podcast yet. Hadn't really dove in. He was deciding between doing this. I don't even know how it got on his radar, which is really interesting. Or doing like house flipping. I'm like, so first thing I'm going to say is that was not enough education for me. Even if he's like, I want to do a Land Academy. I'm like, you know what? I need you to spend a little more time on this. I really want you to get in. And that's what I told him. I said, please join our Thursday call. Please spend the next days, weeks reading, devouring everything you can. Get on our online website, landinvestors.com. Get involved with the community and see this as the right people and the right thing and stuff. Do a little more homework before you dive in. I really think that's really important. So education, That's one level of research you need to be thinking about in our world. And then the second, I have 3 different ones here. The second one is land research. So that's the stuff that we do every day. We're in it. You know it. This is our business. We love it. We're weird. It's just some people are very weird because we just talk about this stuff like it's the greatest thing. They're like, what are you? It's a piece of dirt. You do know you're talking about a piece of dirt. I'm like, I know. Isn't it great? Look how pretty it is. They're like, well, where's the cabin? Who cares? Look what's possible. You know, that's how we see it. So
I don't want to interrupt your train of thought, but
go.
Here's why it's weird.
Okay.
Because the vast majority of people that believe that they're in the real estate business are not.
Oh,
They're in the interior design business.
Oh.
And then they're decorators,
maybe.
specifically with houses.
Got it. So they don't get it like we do.
Right.
But there's a lot of research, and that's the stuff that we do every day, all day, whether we realize it or not. I mean, Jack's fun time is doing this, is doing research on new areas or new things we could be doing or ways to increase our yield, like with our offers or something. I don't know. Ways to run our businesses better.
Where to send mail, it's different.
Yeah.
Why mobile homes in southwestern part of the state are better than the northeastern part of the state. I'm obsessed with it.
Stuff like that. All kinds of weird things. So I use the word weird a lot, but all times the good things. That's what we're doing. So that's a good research area that another one you should spend a lot of time on. And what was so interesting to me was, so this person, again, what sparked this conversation was he was spending the majority of his research right now figuring out how to structure his company. I'm like, that's the last thing I think about. He's worrying about accountants. I know. So this is where I'm going with this. He's worried about, well, do you have an LLC? Are you an S Corp? Are you this? Is this? I'm like, hold on a moment. Before we even get there, that's really
Let's do a deal.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We're putting the cart ahead of the horse, like, let's get some money coming in. Make sure you like this. Make sure you know what you're doing. And you can afford that too. You don't need to worry about structuring your business and your retirement, whatever that is. I'm not kidding. I'm like, wow, it was so interesting because it was just kind of all jumbled. So I wanted to just have a light discussion about that today. And just, number one, research is good. And I really do believe that there's no such thing as too much education. But make sure you're working on the right thing at the right time. That's my point. What would you like to add?
No, I've read up on, we all have read up on successful businesses, successful people, and all of that. And one thing that keeps coming up over and over and over again that a lot of successful people say is that, and we're finding this in some of our companies too, not necessarily the land companies at all, but I'm finding myself more and more as the companies get bigger with more employees. I mean, what are you working on? And I think successful people all really say we work on the right stuff. We used to not work on the right stuff.
Yeah.
So
it goes sideways sometimes.
Yeah. You have to work on the right stuff and spend a lot of time on what really matters. And again, I keep coming back to all this week, come back to that Wednesday talk with Brandon, because he really, really spends the right amount of time on stuff that really matters and outsources the crap. Mm-hmm. Boy, an LLC, whether or not you should have an LLC or with an S Corp election or not, is the last thing that we should ever talk about with any of this at all.
It was the funniest thing that came up on that. I'm like, where did that come from? So yeah, let's think about if this is right for you, first of all, and let's spend the time, learning the process, learning the business, and moving forward and making some money.
We had a person.
The rest falls into place.
A real good example is this, and I know this is a Jill show, but in the last career path, we had a person who came to us who had a pretty good degree of success buying and selling land through cold calling, which is not something we advocate in any way, not even to a small percentage. Mm-hmm. And to which I said immediately, if you've had success buying and selling land by hiring people to do cold calls and doing cold calls yourself, this is going to blow your mind. That takes all that. That's working on the wrong stuff.
Right.
But you got it. You get that buying and selling land's a great thing. Mm-hmm. So that's like 80% of it. Now let's just get you into a mail cycle so you can remove the cold calling out of your life and just spend your time doing deals.
Mm-hmm. I have one more last little point. It just came to my mind. The other thing that he brought up that threw me for a loop was, I'm working on cleaning up my credit so I can borrow money.
Oh, Jill.
I'm not kidding. And I'm like, okay. I said, stop the train right there. I don't want you borrowing $1,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he has money to get started, you know, so that wasn't the problem, but he thinks he's going to need big money. I'm like, nope. And let me tell you how we can solve that. Please don't do that. So it was a good conversation. Again, please don't, you're brand new to this. You know, like,
Right.
don't be sitting time researching on your taxes,
No.
you know, and don't be spending a lot of time researching on, you know, like I said, you know, your credit score so you can borrow this and taking out a mortgage or a second, whatever. Don't think about any of that stuff. Put your head down, get educated, get some good deals, get some stuff flowing, and you're not going to need that stuff. Or like, again, you'll get there.
There's a big string of topics, just like what we're talking about in
Mhm.
Discord recently. And somebody said, all right, everyone stop. Discord is where we all Land Academy members, it's a closed group where we all talk to each other about the deals we're doing.
Mhm.
And this guy said, stop. I have a sticky note that I wrote when I joined Land Academy, and it's been on my computer monitor since day one. And it says this: you're here to buy land and sell it for more.
Oh,
And that's it.
we're going to end it on that. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Join us next week for another interesting episode. You're not alone in your real estate ambition.
That's
Great.
awesome.
This is a great topic, Jill.
Thank you.
Research is a real integral part of this.
Yeah.
Researching where to send mail, super good idea. Researching how much mail you should send and what's really going on in that market before you do it, awesome idea. Researching stuff like, who's going to answer the phone? Is Pat live better? Is Jill live better? Or how am I going to actually do that? Lots of research and all those things.
Researching good title companies, researching good brokers to work with, all that
Mhm.
stuff. That's
Research
good.
prices in the area and get
Good.
a feel for how to price it.
Right. Good. Accountant, not yet. Not, you'll get there. Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers and the number 2 owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, we're working on it. It's coming. I don't have all the answers yet, but Land Academy is working on an online notary closing service that we could do your documents for your seller, for you, and you won't have to leave your desk and you could do it from your cell phone. It's not even have a name yet. When we need, you know what? I might even do a contest. Heads up. When we're ready, I think I'm gonna do a Land Academy contest, and we're gonna come up with a good name for it. So if you need help with anything, any tools, support, whatever, hit up my team at support@landacademy.com.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.